Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and episode number 12 of this WWE 2K17 Did You Know series, in which we'll be taking a look at 5 more things you might not know about WWE 2K17. Did you know RVD's corkscrew leg drop OMG moment from the apron to the barricade is still included in this year's game? Despite RVD no longer being included in the game as a playable superstar, the remnants of RVD's inclusion in the 2K series are still evident as 2K choose to leave his exclusive corkscrew leg drop from the apron to the barricade in this year's game. By default, the move isn't assigned to any of the superstars in the game, however you can manually assign the move by editing the superstar's abilities. Once assigned, simply gain one stored finisher and Irish whip your opponent into the barricade, then press R1 and triangle on PlayStation or RB plus Y on Xbox to perform the move.
The barricade hung corkscrew leg drop. Wow, that's a mouthful. You're not kidding. Easy for you to say.
Did you know the New Age Outlaws, New Day and the Ascension all have alternate entrances depending on if they're tag team champions? For example, the New Day will feature Big E with this introduction when they are champions.
Oh, WWE Universe, don't you dare be sour. Clap for your tag champs and feel the power.
Then when they're not holding the gold, he'll actually say,
Oh, WWE Universe, don't you dare be sour. Clap for the greatest thing going and feel the power.
Similarly with the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg will introduce both himself and Billy Gunn normally without the titles, but when they're tag team champions, he'll announce themselves as the WWF Tag Team Champions of the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Regeneration X proudly brings to you its WWE Tag Team Champions of the world! The Road Dogg, Jesse James, the badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaw!
Finally comes the Ascension, who don't actually speak during their entrance, but they do have 2 alternate entrance animations when they are champions and when they're not, with the championship entrance seeing them holding the belts in their familiar poses. Did you know it's possible to perform breakouts during tag team entrances this year? This year, 2K improved the breakout feature, which was added in last year's game for 2K16, adding the ability for players to now perform entrance breakouts during tag team matches, which can lead to some pretty epic moments. Did you know you can cancel the automatic debuff that's applied when you roll out of the ring in triple threat matches? This one comes from Machiavelli, who reveals that there's a way to cancel the debuff that gets applied to your superstar in triple threat matches when your superstar rolls out the ring and opts to use the early recovery option to break out of the recovery animation before it's complete. Generally, when you're in this position, it's best to wait for the recovery meter with the flashing bars to fill up, which will then allow you to return to the action with a green momentum boost applied, but in some situations, it's best to use the early recovery breakout option, which stops the animation and allows you to quickly get back in the ring to break up a pin or seize an opportunity. The downside to this though is that in using the early recovery option, you actually have a yellow debuff applied that says you take more damage while this meter is active. However, there is a way to remove the debuff by performing a crowd or opponent taunt by pressing L1 and left or right on the D-pad on PlayStation or LB and left or right on the D-pad on Xbox. Generally, performing one of these taunts would give you a green buff that says you deal more damage or gain more momentum, but because there's already a debuff active, performing the crowd taunt actually cancels it out and removes it. Additionally, you can also go one better by performing a second taunt straight after removing the debuff, which will then apply a green buff and make the penalty for using the early recovery option a thing of the past. Getting back to entrance breakouts, this time for singles matches, and did you know there's 3 different cutscenes that can be triggered when the referee calls the match off? The first cutscene features both superstars fighting at ringside at the bottom of the ramp, with one superstar taking out the other with a clothesline before the referee then steps in, with this being the same cutscene that was included in last year's game. Secondly, there's also a second cutscene that sees you throw your opponent into either the barricade or the announce tables, with this taking place when brawling at any side of the ring other than the side with the ramp. Finally, the third cutscene actually takes place in the entranceway as a brawl ensues, with one superstar finally hitting a suplex on the stage before the referee then calls the match off.
And there it is. The referee is waving this one off.
I don't blame him, that's the right thing to do.
So with that brings us to the end of today's video, but if you've got any lesser known features, secret hints or Easter eggs that you'd like me to cover, let me know about it in the comments and I'll give you a shout out in the next episode. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments on all of today's features as well as how many you knew, and if you enjoyed the video I would love it if you could drop it a like to show your support, and if you're new to the channel make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so that you can be notified whenever a new episode is released. As always though, until next time, have yourself an awesome day and I'll catch you later.